Hey YouTube, Andrew here, a guy with a tractor. Today we're going to be going over how to install a USB port in the glove box of my John Deere 3025e. When I'm out bush hogging, charging my phone through the 12 volt port that's on the right hand fender, it works, but I've had a couple times that limbs have caught the cord and pulled the phone off the tractor, and luckily I didn't bush hog it over. So found a USB port on Amazon that I can wire in inside my glove box, the little toolbox here on the right or the left hand fender, and keep my phone in there, and that way there's no chance of it falling off or anything, and it's still charged, and I can listen to my music while I'm out bush hogging. So if you're interested in this, stick around and I'll show you how I do it. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell notification for future videos. Thank you. So this is the USB port I got off Amazon. It's made to go on motorcycles. It's a little watertight. Got two little screws so you can bolt it up, but it's a sealed USB port. I'll put a link in the description of where I got this, so if you want to order one, you'll be able to. So to install this, we're going to put it inside here. I'm going to drill a small hole and run the wire in here. But to run the wire in, I'm going to have to go underneath here, run it down, so I'm going to have to remove the floorboard, some of this trim work, cover panels, and the side panel. I'm going to get power from the added circuits I did. If you want to see that, there's a video on that. I'll post a link in the description to it where I added some extra circuits in. Also, while we're doing this, this little thing don't draw very little power. And also, I'm going to put a LED light bar on too. So I'm going to run the power from the circuit, and I'm going to put in an extra switch, so a little bonus material. I'm going to put in another switch over here, a rocker switch on the console that's going to run the relay for the light bar that I'm going to put on front eventually. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to run the power to there and tie this in with it, since it won't be a whole lot on one circuit. So eventually there's another circuit that I'm going to run to the back of the tractor with just a, well, I'm going to use the other end of this and run this out of the back of the tractor for my sprayer that goes on the back. That way I'll have just a place I can plug it in and don't have to use cigarette plugs and whatnot with that. So that's another project. I don't have enough wire to run from up here all the way to the back right now. So that'll be another project. I'm not using a sprayer any this winter, so that'll be a good springtime project. But I do want to get the charger in, and put the switch in. So I'm going to show you how I wire it up. I'm not going to bore you with taking all the panels and everything off. So if you have any questions about how I got a certain panel or something off, or got access to something, just shoot me a comment down below and I'll try to answer the questions best I can. Alright, so here's the wires that I tied into the fuse block on the left hand side in the previous video, and I've already run my wires up through here following this wire loom. I'm not going to break into this wire loom because there's a lot of big wires and I don't want to mess nothing up as far as that. I don't have anything to fix it if I do. We're going to connect these two wires together, get all the slack pulled up or out of it, and then we're going to zip tie everything and make it look all pretty. Alright, so I got them spliced in, put some heat shrink on there to help keep it waterproof, and now we're just going to slide our wires back through. And then pull this one up through put a few zip ties down through here, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so we got everything zip tied up. Tied it into the wire loom. I did tie it into a few of these little factory clips. Run it up behind this brace. And they both come out here. Now one of them carries on down this factory wire loom here, which is covered by your floor panel, and run it back. I didn't want to tear into all this either. Probably going to start tearing into it somewhere right back in here and tuck these wires up into the wire loom. But all this is down through here is going to be covered by the floor panel. The big wire here is going to go to the power out back that I talked about, and the little wire is what's going to run up and power the USB port in here. One of the other wires from the circuit up there comes up, and they're shooting through here along with that other small wire, and I'm going to tie all them together at the switch. Then we have wire coming from the panel, and then the small wire that's going to go back to the USB port. We're going to be putting the switch in right here. You just pop these little things out, and I got a rocker switch that's going to go right here. That'll eventually control the light bar on the tractor. Alright, so now I'm going to put everything back in here, bolt these relays back up this fuse block, and then put the bolt-on side panel back on. I'm going to leave the actual, just the quick attach side panel to the motor off because I've still got to put fuses and stuff in. But right now on the left hand side of the tractor I can put all this stuff back in there right now. Alright, so I ended up bringing the wire into the wire loom just behind where this other wire loom for the brake wire comes in. Run it back. Had to take this wire hanger off on the back right here, and there's two plastic protectors that help the wire loom twist and go up. Took those off, run the wire up, and then right up here there is you can't see it, there's a big zip tie holding it to the frame that, unlike all the other ones, is a permanent one. You can't pop it open and then close it back. So I brought it out of the wire loom, which will be fine, because I'm fixing to have to bring my little wire over and up under the fender well here for the USB port. Alright, so I ended up having to remove the right hand side covers because I needed a ground. The switch I got, it's got a little light on it, which needs a ground. Well, none of these bolts up in here are connected to ground, and I'm not running the wire all the way to the battery. So right down here, right behind your fuel connector, there's a long threaded bolt that comes out. It's got a lock nut on it. Now that is connected to ground because it's mounted onto the side of the transmission, or the side of the flywheel there. Normally holds two hydraulic lines on, but I put a little wire on there that's connected with a ring connector. You see the wire right there. Run that up. Just run it up back through. It wasn't hard to fish it up through there. And now I have all my wires coming out of the switch hole. So now I can trim these up and put ends on them and wire the switch in. Alright, so I got all the switch wired in. Got the ground wire, the wire coming power in, and then power going out to the USB port. And then I didn't know once I clipped this switch in if it'd come out real easy, so I went ahead and run a wire that's going to go to my lights when I get them, and I just curled a little bit up here and zip tied it and got the end secured off. Alright, so we got all the side panels, everything put back on the right side. We got the cowling put back on, and we got our left-hand floor panel put back on. One thing that's still off is this side panel, because when I get everything wired up, I got to put a fuse in. Now we just have to deal with these other two wires. One of them's going to the back for power, and the other one's going in here for USB. Let me get those running, I'll show you how it's done. Alright, so I did something. I ended up taking the seat off just so I could get down here better. I didn't want to fight with leaning up under that the whole time. Really wish I'd done this when I put the lights in. It would have been way easier. Literally 4 screws. Just don't lose these little clips that are on here, because the screws go down through them and hold them on. They are Allen key. I'll tell you what they are. They are a 6mm Allen key. Let's use that right there. Popped them loose. They weren't very tight. So now that's going to allow me to get in here and run these wires in these wire looms and make it a lot prettier. Okay, so we got the power wire where it come up right here. We took it into the wire loom, run it up, and run it to right here under these 2 bolts. There's a zip tie that holds it on, and it splits. You got the wire loom that comes up here, and then the wire loom that goes down to, got all the wires in the bottom of the ROPS. So I did take this all loose, and I brought my ground wire out and tied it in right here to the ROPS. Just run a little wire in and down, and then I got both of them run out right here to my little SAE connector. I'm probably gonna tie this on right here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm probably just gonna tie that on right in there, so when I need power I'll have it in the back. Alright, so we've brought the little wire out across here. Put a little zip tie on it right here. This is right under the emergency brake. And then I brought it up, and right here I tied into this bolt right here for a ground, and all this is going to run up this, and then I drilled out the little drain hole that's in the bottom of the glove box just a little bit so the wire would fit through it. Get all that tied in, and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so got it where we got our ground, run it up, put a zip tie tab there, the zip tie tab around the thing here, and it runs in through the little weep hole that was in the bottom of the, had to drill that out to 1/4 inch, and runs up into the glove box. So it's all out of the way, plenty of room between the tire, so it's not going to interfere with anything. And then right there we have a little USB port. Now I just stuck this on the inside with some 3M outdoor double-sided tape. Should hold that on there plenty good enough for what it is. On the back side, I put one of those little zip tie tabs in here, zip tied that connector to it, and then put another one right here just below where it comes out of the wiring harness. You can kind of see in there how I did that. So now, and I have tested this. I got 12 volts right there. The USB port works, and our switch works. So now once we get the light bar on the front, that switch right there will control it. Now all that's left to do is clean up the mess, put the seat back on, and we'll be good to go. All right, one last thing I did is I run a piece of Gorilla Tape down on the inside of the wheel well here to help secure that wire a little bit better. There was a little bit of a gap there, and I didn't just want to keep putting zip ties down through here. So good piece of Gorilla Tape there should hold that pretty good. Okay, there you have it. There is how I added a USB port in the glove box, auxiliary power on the back, and put in a light switch into the dash. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for future videos. Thank you and have a blessed day.